So it says, then Jesus, being filled with the Holy Spirit, returned from the Jordan and was led by the Spirit into the wilderness, being tempted for 40 days by the devil. And in those days he ate nothing, and afterward, when they had ended, he was hungry. And the devil said to him, if you are the Son of God, command this stone to become bread. Point number 1 today, the devil comes to us when we are hungry. Comes to us when we're feeling weak. Comes to us when we're down. Comes to us when we're broken. It's kind of like this plate of donuts right here. You know, if I'm a strong, healthy eating, working out all the time kind of person, which obviously I am not, but if I was, my wife is shaking her head because I do go to the gym every single day. I just don't look like it. It's the weight gaining part. So I really do need to eat some more of these donuts so I can get a little bit bigger. But yeah. But if I'm a healthy person, I might be able to say no to these donuts, right? Like somebody show up, you want a donut? I'm like, no, bro, I've been going to the gym, feeling good, got a pump going, have my pre-workout, have my post-workout, been drinking my amino acids, all that stuff. Yeah, bro, I'm good. I'm all right. Got BCAs and got a pump built. Gains, bro. Got to make my gains. I might be able to look at that person and say, I'm good to go. But let's say I haven't been in the gym for a while. And let's say that I've been kind of struggling a little bit and I've been feeling a little bit of depression and I just want to soothe my soul. Well, this plate of donuts ain't going to be calling my name and I'm going to say yes, right? So it's kind of the same with temptation, right? It's kind of the same the way the devil comes to us. Because the devil, like I said before, he's not coming when you're good to go. He's not trying to show up whenever you're doing things that make him afraid of you. He shows up when you ain't been in your word for a while. He shows up when you haven't been worshiping. He shows up and he rears his ugly head when you are hungry. That's when he shows up. You know, he doesn't come to you when you've been on vacation. You feeling like a new man. You spent 7 days praying. You were hanging out with the kids and stuff. He's not tempting you to be angry right then. Or he's not showing up to tempt you to isolate yourself when you're vibing with your friend group. You're feeling loved by your parents. You're feeling loved by everybody around you. You're feeling good. He's not coming up and saying, hey, isolate yourself in those moments. No, see, this is how the devil works. I'm going to speak to some of y'all parents that are about to be homeschooling in a couple weeks. The devil shows up when the virtual classroom is freezing up again and the kids are fighting over who's been staring at whom for too long, and it's getting on their nerves because they don't like it when Johnny stares at them and then they just stuck their tongue out at them and they're ready to throw hands. And then you're trying to figure out the virtual classroom, and then you're trying to break up a toddler fight, and then, that's when the devil likes to show up. Or that, the devil likes to show up when, y'all, this is a lived experience. The devil likes to show up when you're driving and you're just, you got your worship music on, you're trying to make a step in the right direction, right? And then somebody cuts you off in traffic. And that, you know what? It's fine. It's good. I'm good, God. I'm good. Bless them, Jesus. Bless them. Hallelujah. But then I get to the store where I'm going, and as I'm getting out the car, my phone falls out and busts on the concrete, and I just got that phone a couple weeks ago. It's okay, Jesus. It's just a thing. I'm content in all things. It's just a thing. Then I roll up into Walmart, right? And there still ain't no toilet paper up in that joint. I'm like, all right, it's okay. Bless God. And then I'm like, I'm going to go get some junk food so I can soothe my soul. But then I show up to the front counter and my credit card gets declined. And then that's when the devil likes to show up, when you hungry. That's when the devil likes to show up. He waits. He's methodical and he's patient. That's right. He finds your weakness. It's kind of like, the devil's kind of like your algorithm on Instagram. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you start liking different pictures or you're on Facebook or it just so happens that you were talking about something and Alexa heard you talking, and then all of a sudden you got all these ads popping up on your phone for stuff that you don't need, for prices that you can't afford, but that credit card, baby. The devil works like your algorithm. He studies your moves and your intentions, your likes and your dislikes, and he shows up, get this, number 2, he shows up, he cooks up what would be most personally enticing to me or to you. He ain't gonna show up tempting you with something that's a temptation for me. Or he's not gonna show up tempting me with something that's a temptation for you. See, Jesus, whenever he was tempted by the devil showed up with things that would be enticing to him. That's how the devil works. He shows up with something tailor-made for you. For you. He thinks about you a lot. So he shows up with something that would be enticing for you. And see, again, it's kind of like these donuts, right? So I might not struggle with the cream-filled donut. Like, this might not be my struggle. Like, I might be like, yo, bro, I'm good to go. Show up with a cream-filled donut? Nah, I'm all right. But then you show up with this beautiful monstrosity that's got Reese's Pieces on it and a little bit of peanut butter drizzle and stuff, you know. And I might be tempted to take a bite. But, hold on, y'all. I gotta have a moment for this. No, but you might be like my wife and think peanut butter treats are nasty. You know, because the devil's all up in her thoughts and got her confused about all kinds of different. She doesn't realize that peanut butter is good for you. So any treat with peanut butter in it is healthy for you. That's how I view it. But I'm just joking. So like for her, that's not a temptation. But you show up with this blueberry old-fashioned donut. Now that might be a different story. You might be tempted to take a bite. Right? Or you might look at this and think, that's just the nastiest looking thing I've ever seen. How could anybody ever fall for something like that? But you know, them sprinkles, though. That might be your deal right there. That might be what gets you. And it's the same thing with temptation. So, like, if you tempt me to be selfish, I might be okay. Like, I serve in the children's ministry, and you know, I'm the kind of guy that will like pay for, I'm not bragging on myself at all. This is an example. I'm not talking about myself. But I might be the kind of guy that like pays for the groceries for the person in front of me, and I'm the kind of person that opens the door for everybody that's walking in the room. Like, you tempt me to be selfish, and I'm like, no, bro, good to go. But you offer me a moment to be impatient, I might take a bite. Or like, you might be the most patient person in the world. You might be like, I get in line, the longest line at Walmart on purpose. Why? Because that is where I best evangelize, and I want to be around the people, and I want to be able to preach God to everybody that's around me. And I don't honk at people whenever the lights turn green and they haven't moved. I'm from the Pacific Northwest. It is in my nature to wait. Patience, I got patience for days, son. I got patience for days. But then, like, you offer the opportunity to look at pornography. Well, that might That might be enjoyable. Or you might be the kind of person that's like signing all the petitions to get porn art, and you should, by the way. I'm not making fun of you for this. This is something we should all be doing. Signing petitions to see like those pornographic sites taken off of the internet so that we can help stop human trafficking in our nation and around the world. Like you might be that person. You might look at somebody that's struggling with pornography and think to yourself, how could you ever? But then when presented with the opportunity to gossip shows up, you might take a bite. So something very important that we need to realize, we've got to stop thinking about sin in sizes. Listen, we can't think about sin in sizes. We can't think about it just because I don't drink or smoke or look at pornography or whatever, that means that I'm good to go. No, if we are going to be the pure and spotless bride of Jesus Christ, there is a lot more than the big three that we need to handle in our lives. Like we might not be cursing up a storm, but listen, all sin has the same wage. So it is time for the church to stop putting levels on sin, because then the devil creeps in and he makes you think you're okay. Well, but you don't struggle with what he struggles with. Or you don't struggle with what she's struggling with. Sin is sin. And we've got to look at it that way, and we've got to decide that we are going to dig deep and become, like I said at the beginning, we need to realize that Jesus is the standard, and if I am being conformed to the image of God, then it doesn't matter. The only thing that's important is just not what I do on a computer at night. It matters what I do at 1 a.m. At 1 in the middle of the day when I'm commenting on that post on Facebook. Uh-oh. It matters. It matters how we talk to one another. It matters how we talk to our children and our spouse. It matters how patient we are. It matters how kind we are. It matters how gentle we are. All of that stuff matters. It is not just about saying, I ain't had a drink in 24 years. Okay. How did you talk to your children yesterday? It matters. And we have to stop thinking about sin in sizes. These all got calories, y'all. These all, after time, gonna show up. Sin, after time. Okay, y'all with me. I ain't even got to preach today. Y'all preaching for me. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. This is not condemnation, by the way. Because that's another thing. When I start thinking about sin in sizes, then I start condemning people. You say, well, I just got to speak the love and speak the truth in love, Pastor. Well, then you need to ask yourself this question: does the love that I speak the truth through cast out fear or not? So this is really important, because if I'm speaking to someone and I say, well, I'm just speaking the truth in love. Well, how does that person feel empowered to follow Jesus after that? Or do they feel disempowered to follow Jesus after that? Do they hate the church because actually what you did was not speak the truth in love, you spoke the truth in hate? It matters. It matters. And we can't think of sin in sizes.